For decades, the world has been captivated by Princess Diana. Her grace, compassion, and ability to connect with the public. She was more than just the people's princess. She was a devoted mother to her two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. Diana's public life was closely followed, but behind the glamour and the headlines, she was also a woman navigating the complexities of motherhood and royal expectations. And now, a long-lost letter from Diana to her eldest son, Prince William, has finally come to light, offering a window into her private thoughts. The rediscovery of this letter has sparked intense curiosity about Diana's personal life, especially her relationship with her children. In July 2004, the contents of this letter surfaced at an auction in London, amidst the collection of Diana's personal letters. The auction, which had no fanfare or major announcements, quietly revealed the princess's most personal correspondence. At first glance, the listing seemed like just another batch of royal memorabilia. But these letters were unlike any official palace statements. They were raw, emotional, and candid, offering an unfiltered glimpse into the life of a mother who adored her children above all else. The personal connection. Diana's letters to Violet Collison. Diana's letters were addressed to Violet Collison, a woman who had been a trusted housekeeper and confidant to the Spencer family for decades. Violet had witnessed Diana's transformation from a shy young woman into the most famous and beloved woman in the world. As someone who had been close to Diana during both her happy and turbulent times, Violet's correspondence with Diana sheds light on the princess's private world in a way that the public never saw. Unlike official palace statements or the carefully curated images presented in the media, Diana's letters revealed the real struggles and joys she experienced. These letters were far from the polished public persona that Diana often had to present. They were written with honesty and vulnerability, capturing the highs and lows of her life, especially the profound love she had for her children. Diana's maternal love revealed in letters. One of the most touching letters in this collection was written by Diana to Violet. It was a simple thank you note for a motorbike display at Prince William's 7th birthday party. What made the letter even more special was the addition of William and Harry's scribbles at the bottom. The two boys had drawn their names, a rare and heartwarming glimpse into their family life behind the palace walls. Diana's words and the innocent, eager handwriting of her sons captured a moment of joy and innocence, far removed from the pressures of royal life. These letters weren't just written updates to a friend, they were heartfelt reflections of Diana's concerns and hopes for her children. The princess's devotion to her sons was evident in every line. She wanted them to grow up with compassion, kindness, and an understanding of the world beyond their privileged status. As the world's most famous mother, Diana struggled to shield her sons from the constant media scrutiny that came with their royal status. But she also wanted them to be grounded in a way that many royal children had not been before. Breaking royal traditions. Diana's revolutionary parenting style, unlike her royal predecessors, who adhered strictly to tradition, Diana was determined to raise her children in a way that was authentic and true to her beliefs. She did not want her children to grow up isolated behind the high walls of Kensington Palace. While previous generations of royal children were raised in a bubble of luxury and formalities, Diana sought to give William and Harry experiences that ordinary children had. She defied tradition by taking them on outings to amusement parks, riding public buses, and even eating at fast food restaurants like McDonald's. For Diana, these small moments were more than just fun outings. They were lessons in understanding the world. She wanted her sons to interact with people from all walks of life, to see that the world beyond the palace was complex, diverse, and full of challenges. Diana's efforts to expose her children to the real world were deliberate and intentional. She arranged for them to experience simple pleasures, from shopping for groceries to attending football matches, all in the hopes of making them grounded, compassionate, and aware of the realities faced by ordinary people. Her former bodyguard, Ken Worf, spoke often of how Diana would meticulously plan these outings. She would choose quieter times to visit public places, sometimes even disguising herself in plain clothes to avoid attracting attention. These were not publicity stunts. Diana genuinely wanted her sons to experience life outside the palace gates, and she went to great lengths to make that happen. A mother's sacrifice, Diana's protection of her sons. Diana's life was far from easy, and after her marriage to Prince Charles began to unravel in the early 1990s, the pressures on her grew, but even as her marriage was falling apart, Diana's dedication to her children never wavered. When the media scrutinized her every move, when she became a subject of public gossip, and when her personal pain was laid bare for the world to see, Diana's thoughts were always with her son. She took extra care to protect them from the media frenzy and shield them from the pressures of royal life. Diana's letters, often written during these difficult times, reflect her concerns for William and Harry's emotional well-being. She was determined that they would not become victims of the same system that had caused her so much distress. In one particularly heartfelt letter written in 1989, Diana expressed her gratitude to a member of her security team for organizing a special event for William's birthday. She wrote, "It was so kind of you to arrange the motorbike display for William's birthday. I cannot even begin to express how much joy it brought to the children and their mother." The letter, written on official Kensington Palace stationery, was a rare glimpse of the close-knit bond between mother and sons, away from the public eye. Diana's parenting during divorce, a focus on love and emotional intelligence. The year 1992 marked a turning point in Diana's life. Her marriage to Prince Charles was officially separated, and the world watched as the royal couple's relationship disintegrated. The pain of the separation was compounded by the intense media coverage, which often focused on Diana's every move and every word. Despite the personal turmoil, Diana remained deeply involved in William and Harry's lives. She continued to protect them from the emotional upheaval surrounding their parents' divorce, and her focus remained on providing them with a sense of stability. Diana was determined to give her children an emotional education, something that royal traditions often overlooked. She wanted them to grow up with a strong sense of empathy and emotional intelligence, a value she herself held deep. During her infamous 1995 interview with journalist Martin Bashir, Diana spoke candidly about her desire to raise her children with kindness and understanding. She openly discussed the difficulties of royal life, emphasizing the importance of emotional connection and human decency over royal protocols. Her words resonated deeply with the public. In an era when royal appearances were heavily scripted and formal, Diana's honesty and vulnerability were refreshing. Even in the midst of her personal struggles, Diana's primary concern was the well-being of her son. She wanted them to grow up with a strong moral compass, equipped to navigate the complexities of their royal roles, while remaining grounded in compassion. A mother's legacy. Diana's enduring influence on William and Harry. As Diana's relationship with Charles deteriorated and her marriage ended in divorce, she chose to focus on her children and her humanitarian work. Despite no longer being a working royal, she continued to be involved in every aspect of William and Harry's lives. She would attend their school events, personally write thank you notes to staff, and ensure that their lives remained as normal as possible. Diana's parenting was unconventional by royal standards, but it was rooted in love and care. She made deliberate efforts to provide her children with a sense of normalcy, even amid the chaos of royal life. When she was stripped of her formal title as Her Royal Highness in 1996, Diana's life became even more focused on her values and her children. She was no longer a figurehead of the monarchy but a mother determined to ensure that her children grew up with integrity and compassion. A touching moment between Diana and William. One of the most poignant moments in Diana's life came after her divorce from Charles was finalized. Diana was devastated by the loss of her royal title. In a private conversation with William, then 14, Diana expressed her distress about the new protocol, which meant she would have to curtsy to her own sons one day. William, with characteristic sensitivity, reassured his mother, telling her, "Don't worry, Mom, I'll give it back to you one day when I'm king." The simple yet profound words spoke volumes about the close bond between Diana and William, a bond that would continue to influence him throughout his life. Diana's life was tragically cut short in 1997. Just 1 year after her divorce. The world was left in shock and grief, as the princess, still so young, died in a car accident in Paris. Her death left an enormous void in the lives of her children, who were left to navigate adulthood without their mother's guidance. Yet Diana's influence never truly left. William and Harry both grew up to embody the values she instilled in them: compassion, empathy, and the strength to face the world with kindness. Through her letters, her actions and her unwavering love for her sons, Diana's legacy lives on. She wasn't just the princess who broke royal protocols, she was a mother who fiercely protected her children, even from the prying eyes of the world. And while Diana may have been a global icon, to William and Harry she was always simply. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Princess Diana's letters and her heartfelt relationship with her sons, make sure to subscribe to XP Prime for more exclusive stories, royal insights, and fascinating historical moments. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future content, where we bring history to life, one story at a time.